Welcome to another exciting edition of Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy. Today we're going to talk about my happiness, and I am happy today. We're doing this video on November 12th. Yesterday was Veterans Day. A big shout out to everyone who is a veteran, including my father. Shout out to him as well. Thank you for your service. I had the day off yesterday from my day job. And I got up in the morning and I ran some mail that I had to get out over to Mr. Magazine's. Came home, did a little bit of puttering around the house, found some items to send out, etc., etc. And then it was about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I said, what am I going to do? I've got a mishmash of things to list, things all over the place that I can list, and I wasn't really sure what I felt like listing, what I wanted to list. And then I went down into the basement. And I had recently received a box of magazines. Now, there's a gentleman, I've talked about him before, out in California. He contacts me once a month with a list of magazines and says, hey, here's what I got. He basically sends me an invoice at the same time. I take a quick look at the list to make sure it's reasonable, and always has, never been any problems. Purchase them, and he mails them out to me. Once a month I get this box in from them, and it's always got some interesting things in there, older magazines, things like that, that I enjoy. So I basically tripped over that box and I said, you know what I want to do today? I want to list this box of magazines, and I'm going to guess there were probably 75 to 80 magazines in it, something or other like that. I had a couple of other things I had to do, had to run up and do some shopping, things like that. But I said, if today I am able to list this box of magazines, I will consider it a successful day. So out of those, probably 15 or so magazines got listed on Amazon, which are real fast listings, and the rest of them went on eBay. The problem was none of them are particularly easy eBay listings. They're things that you have to go through. Table of contents isn't always a big help on them, so you got to kind of page through, find the best things to put up, etc., etc. So they take some time. You could probably do about 5 minutes per by the time you get the pictures, the listing, all that kind of thing. Well, I was able to get through the box along with the shopping, the other things that I needed to do. And that actually made me very, very happy for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I won't be tripping over the box again, so that always makes me happy. But number two, at some point in the near future, I will be retiring from the day job, which means we'll be doing this full-time, or at least more full-time than I'm doing currently. And if I survey the garage, the porch, the basement, the living room, and whatever other rooms boxes may have found their way into, there probably are, 350 boxes of things. So I definitely do not need to purchase anymore for a long time, which does not mean that I will not be doing so. But I don't have to buy things for a long, long time. And if I can list one item or one box a day, which, again, doing it full time, I don't see why I shouldn't be able to do so. Now, granted, some boxes are easier than others to list, so you got to kind of figure it out over an average. Obviously, a box of 1,000 postcards is not going to get listed in a day. But I've always thought I had a couple of years worth of work ahead of me. It looks like realistically, pounding out work, I've got a year's worth of work ahead of me. So puts me in a good mood, though, because at least there is potentially an end in sight. And again, I could speed things up by lotting things out. I could speed things up by stopping buying, etc., but there's no fun in that. So doing things the way that I'm doing, I've got about a year's worth of work ahead of me once I retire. Of course, that isn't entirely true because, as the theory goes, if I list 200 of those boxes up on there and I pick up an extra 15,000 items, I double the size of my store, I'm going to be spending more time finding things and packing things. So, of course, that will make it more difficult to list a box a day. But, hey, I'm humoring myself that I'm eventually going to get it done. So I'm in a good mood because I'm actually believing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel that's not an oncoming train. So you gotta get these small victories and celebrate them, and I'm celebrating one today. And to anyone else out there, you can list one box of stuff in a day, and if you start looking around, start figuring out that's 365 boxes and you're done in a year. Let's get started. Till next video.
Ooh.